Can you start off by telling me, why are you giving this interview?
Because it started to get to me after a while. I've always been conflicted about it, I guess, but I wasn't conscious of it until later, years later. At first, I was just blown away by the chance, the opportunity, the challenge of making this film, and I went into it like it was a regular film, like another production of mine, not thinking too much about the long-term effects, what it would mean to society if it was ever discovered.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, a movie I made that nobody is aware of, even though they've seen it. A confession of sorts.
A movie you made, no one knows you made? Is that what you said?
That's right.
Okay.
Is that intriguing? Do I have you intrigued?
Okay.
On the American public.
Well,
I perpetrated a huge fraud, which I am now about to detail.
Okay.
Involving the United States government and NASA. And I'm sure you've heard the rumors that the moon landing was fake. The moon landings all were fake. And I was the person who filmed it.
You're serious, and okay.
I am serious.
Because I only have this certain amount of time with you, and I'll talk about whatever you want. This isn't some type of joke or
No, it's not
film
joke.
within a film thing.
It's not a joke. Nope.
Okay.
The conspiracy theorists were right on this occasion.
Why?
It was the moon landing.
Why in God's name I don't know what to ask you first. Why the hell, if you're telling the truth, why would you do it? Why are you telling me? I mean, what the?
Don't you think it's important for people to know the truth?
It was fake.
Wait, okay. I'll just say that. What are you talking? I mean, why would the government ever want or need to do? I'm completely unclear on what you're talking. I mean,
A fantasy, a fictional moon landing. It was not real. It was not real.
Take us back to the beginning. That we didn't land on the moon, you're saying, and you
No, we didn't land on the moon.
Okay.
A massive fraud, an unparalleled fraud perpetrated against them.
Unit going to internal power.
They should know.
Okay.
I mean, they're already suspicious of the government. They may as well have their suspicions confirmed.
Those 5 first stage engines at the T-minus 8.9 second mark. We've passed T-minus 30.
I'm not that I don't believe you. I'm just saying, why would the government need to do something like that?
12, 11, 10.
The moon landing in '69, which was 2 years before my birth, is
total fiction.
9. Ignition sequence start.
Total fiction.
Yes. With my help.
You're telling me why me? Why not CNN? And is that so? That's the 15-year thing. So that makes sense now. That's why I can't release it for 15 years. That makes total sense now.
Yes.
What are you drinking?
I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make you another one. We'll freshen that up. We'll get a PA.
I was contacted by NASA before I started making 2001.
After Kennedy said his thing, you're saying?
Well, considerably after then, yeah. And they had seen Dr. Strangelove, and I had originally requested use of the B-52 to film part of Dr. Strangelove, and they refused. But they were very impressed by the final.
Great film. Great film.
It's one of my personal favorites. Yes,
Yeah.
They were very impressed by the look of it, and they were planning this fake moon landing. They wanted.
But why did they have to fake it? Why?
Because it is impossible to get to the moon. It's no secret that NASA always wanted to fulfill this Kennedy prophecy.
This decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
There was a difference of opinion. There were some that just believed honestly that we will never be able to get there. There's just no chance.
Some people didn't believe that you could go, even?
Well, Werner von Braun, of course, didn't think so.
The director didn't think so.
The man was just too brilliant. He knew that we couldn't do it.
I'm convinced that in the space field, the Russians are ahead of us, particularly in large weightlifting capability, and that after we are running as fast as they do, there's still a considerable gap to close.
And the geopolitical chess match between Russia that was going on, it would have weakened their position, so to speak.
Yes.
And I guess
that
money.
Was background. That was great background for the story. Yes.
But it must have been about
because there was still
money.
a red fear, a communist fear among the people.
I mean, missile crisis and all that. And the political, I mean, they'd spent all that money, I guess. And
yes.
There was a political brinksmanship going on.
Of course, Nixon wanted to make a big splash. It was early in his presidency.
Yeah, that would have made him look really like a failure.
He wanted to. He wanted his approval points up, and he thought nothing could do it better than this. To fulfill this dream that America has had as a country since the Kennedy years, that we would get to the moon by the end of the decade. Well, time was running out. It was 1969.
Kennedy set a deadline, psychological deadline of the 60s. They knew they couldn't beat it.
Right.
So how'd it go? So you met with who? Rumsfeld and Kissinger initially?
You try to put him out of your mind when you meet him. But anyway, Nixon was a character, I'll tell you. And I thought an underrated president, but really kind of a psycho at the same time. So,
why do you think the government did it? Why did Nixon do it then? What was his motive, do you think? Well, I mean, did he explain why he wanted to do? I mean, is that who
Nixon didn't know why he wanted to do anything. You know, he didn't even know why he wanted to burgle the. He didn't know why. He didn't know why they wanted the. He didn't know why they wanted the records from Ellsberg psychiatrist.
Okay.
Well, you know what? LBJ was a charismatic person, and it's hard to say no to him. You know.
What happened? What did he say to you?
He had a way of just charming people, and the fact that I was there in the first place is that in itself is kind of, intimidating. And then the idea of doing something for the government and at the same time to like advance your reputation as an artist, even though you don't get any credit for it.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I mean, you wouldn't get any credit for it, so that would.
Yeah, I know, but it does something to yourself inside.
Do you think obviously he didn't care about Kennedy's promise? What was their moral justification? What did they say to you? What happened? How did it go down? When they came to you right away, what was their pitch and how'd you react?
It was obviously something I never expected, and I was blown away. And yes, I was also much younger than I am now, and I was on a bit of an ego trip of my own.
It's also really about, like anything else, about money. I mean, they'd spent the equivalent of $1 billion, almost $1 trillion of our dollars now on this program.
Yes, in addition to being impossible,